Spain faces Austria in the round of 16 of the 2026 World Cup, and from this moment on, there's no room for error. Everything achieved in the group stage is left behind. Now, only one thing matters: winning. Luis de la Fuente's team arrives with a lot of confidence after completing a great first phase of the championship. But on the other side will be an Austrian side that has surprised everyone with its intensity, its pressing, and its ability to compete against any opponent. So let's get straight to what many of you are looking for. What time is the Spain versus Austria match? In Spain, the match will start at 21 o'clock on Thursday, July 2nd, in Austria. It will also kick off at 21 o'clock. In Portugal, the match will start at 20:00. In Mexico, the ball will start rolling at 1:13:00 Central Time. In the United States, since the match will be played in Los Angeles Inglewood, these will be the times: West Coast, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, 12 o'clock. Mountain Time Zone, Denver, 1:13:00. Central Time Zone, Dallas, Houston, Chicago, 14 o'clock. East Coast, New York, Miami, Washington, 15:00. In Canada, Toronto and Montreal will be able to watch it from 15:00 Winnipeg, from 14 o'clock Calgary, and Edmonton from 1:13:00, and Vancouver from 12 o'clock in Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil. The match will start at 16:00 hours. In Chile, Paraguay, Bolivia, and Venezuela, it will start at 1500 hours. In Colombia, Peru, and Ecuador, it will begin at 1400 hours. In Costa Rica, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, and Nicaragua, the match will start at 13 o'clock hours, and in Panama, it will be at 1400 hours. So now you know, set your clocks right, because Spain is playing for a spot in the round of 16 in a knockout match that promises a lot of football, intensity, and excitement. Let's move on to one of the most important sections of this video. Where can you watch Spain vs Austria live? Let's start with Spain, where the match can be watched completely free-to-air on La One de Televisión Española, as well as on RTV Play, so you can follow the game from any device. It will also be available on DAZN, which offers complete coverage of the World Cup. In Austria, the match will be broadcast by ORF and Servus ETV, the two channels with the rights to the World Cup. In Portugal, the game can be followed on Sport TV. Now that we've gone over the schedules and TV channels, let's get to what's really important. How is Spain coming into this knockout match against Austria? The Spanish national team comes in with a very positive feeling, but also with enormous pressure. Because Spain had a good group stage, showed personality, had moments of really good football, but now another World Cup begins. It's no longer enough to say that the team plays well, it's no longer enough to talk about feelings. Looking back doesn't help anymore. In a knockout round, one detail can send you home. And precisely because of that, Luis de la Fuente knows that this match against Austria is a complete test of maturity. Spain has talent, has rhythm, has possession, has players capable of changing the match in a single play. But in front of them will be an Austrian team that won't give away anything at all. Spain's greatest strength is still their ability to dominate with the ball. When the team manages to settle in the opponent's half, move the ball quickly, and find their players between the lines, they become a very difficult team to defend against. That's where key names come in. Pedri, to bring calm, deliver the final pass, and provide clarity. Rodri, to hold the team together and prevent the game from breaking apart. Nico Williams, to threaten the space and open up the field. And of course, Lamine Yamal, who forces the opponent to make uncomfortable decisions every time he gets the ball. Because that could be one of the big keys to the match. Austria will surely try to keep their lines close, press hard after losing the ball, and close down the spaces in the middle. And that's where Spain will need to be a threat out wide. They'll need one-on-one situations. They'll need players who can break down defenses, not just string passes together. That's why Lamine and Nico could be decisive. But be careful, because Spain will also have to protect themselves. Austria is not a team that waits passively. They're an intense team. They're physical, aggressive, and very dangerous when they win the ball back in the opponent's half. If Spain loses the ball in risky areas, they could really suffer. And that's the big warning for Luis de la Fuente. Spain has to attack, yes, but without losing their shape. They have to dominate, yes, but without being overconfident. They have to look for the goal, yes, but understanding that in a knockout match, patience also wins games. The Spanish coach might go for a very familiar starting 11, with a foundation based on control, in the center of the field and speed on the wings. The question will be in the details. whether he strengthens the midfield more or goes for a more traditional striker, or if he looks for more mobility up front to disrupt the Austrian defense. What's clear is that Spain has more than enough arguments to win, but also a very clear obligation to show that this team not only knows how to play well, but also knows how to compete when the match starts to get tough, because this Spain-Austria game is not just another test. It's the first real big test for a team that wants to look the World Cup in the eye again. In Mexico, it will be available on Canal 5 Las Estrellas, 2DN, and the VIX platform. In the United States, there will be two main options. In English, the match can be seen on Fox, and in Spanish, it will be available on Telemundo, as well as Fox Sports app, Fox One, Fubo, and Peacock. In Canada, the broadcast will be on TSN, CTV, and RDS. If we go to South America, most countries will have the signal from DS Sports and DGO. Additionally, in Argentina, Telefe, TIC Sports, DS Sports, and DGO. Chile, Chilevisión, DS Sports, and DGO. Colombia, Caracol Televisión, RCN, DS Sports, and DGO. Peru, América Televisión, DS Sports, and DGO. Ecuador, Teleamazonas, D Sports, and DGO. Venezuela, Televen, D Sports, and DGO. Bolivia, Red Uno, Unitel, D Sports, and DGO. Paraguay, Tigo Sports, D Sports, and DGO. Brazil, TV Globo, Sport TV, KCTV. And if you're following us from Central America, take note. Costa Rica, Teletica. Guatemala, Chapin TV, El Salvador, TCS, Honduras, Televicentro, Nicaragua, Canal 10 Panama, RPC TV, and TVN. So now you know. It doesn't matter where in the world you're watching us from, because you'll be able to follow one of the most exciting matches of the round of 32. Now it's time to analyze Spain's form. What could Luis de la Fuente's starting lineup be? How is Austria coming in after surprising everyone in the group stage? And what could be the tactical keys to this knockout matchup? If Spain wants to reach the round of 16, they will first have to overcome a team that has been one of the big surprises of the tournament, because Austria has shown that they haven't reached this World Cup by chance. The team led by Ralf Rangnick has built a very recognizable identity. It's an intense, brave team with very high pressing that constantly forces their opponents to play out of their comfort zone. They don't need to have the ball to dominate a match. Winning the ball back near the opponent's box is enough for them, and that's where Spain faces one of its biggest dangers. Because if Luis de la Fuente's team isn't precise when playing out from the back, Austria can create goal-scoring chances in just a few seconds. During the group stage, they left a very good impression. They competed in almost every match. They showed tremendous physical strength and confidence. They proved to be one of the toughest teams to beat when they managed to impose their rhythm. The main attacking reference is once again Marcel Sabitzer. The Borussia Dortmund player is having a great World Cup. He contributes by making late runs from deep, puts in a lot of defensive work, and has a huge ability to show up in important moments. Alongside him are players like Konrad Laimer, who is crucial to shoring up the midfield with his work rate and physical range. And Christoph Baumgartner, one of the most talented players in this squad when it comes to breaking lines and surprising by arriving from behind. In attack, Austria also has very mobile forwards, capable of constantly attacking the spaces left by advanced defenses. And that's exactly what really worries the Spanish coaching staff. Because Spain usually plays very high up the pitch, and if Austria manages to get past the first line of pressure, they could find a lot of space to run into. But where this team really stands out is in the collective aspect. Not as a team with just one star. They don't need a single player to win matches on his own. Everything works as a unit. Everyone presses, everyone runs, everyone defends. And that solidarity makes Austria a really tough opponent. Luis de la Fuente knows this perfectly well. That's why all week he has insisted on a very clear message in the locker room. No relaxing allowed.